So these are our standards that we're covering with traditional literature. What we're going to do today is I'm going to read one piece to you just to warm up. It's called The Crow in the Pitcher. Yeah, I have one called The Crow in the Peacock. This is a fable. It was a hot summer day and Crow was very thirsty. I must find some water soon or I'll die. She flew from place to place but saw no water. It had not rained in a long time and the land was very dry. There was no water in the creek bed. There was no water in the pond. There was not even any water in the horse's trough. Where am I going to find something to drink? Moaned Crow. As she flew over a town, she noticed a large pitcher sitting on a table under a tree. I wonder if there's water in that pitcher, she thought. Crow swooped down and landed on the table. She peered into the pitcher. Yeah, there was water in it. Oh no, she called. This is only a little bit of water at the bottom. The thirsty bird tried to reach the water, but the neck of the pitcher was too small. She tried to tip the pitcher on its side so she could drink water as it spilled out, but it was too heavy. She was just wasting her time. I must think of a way to get to that water, she called. Crow thought and thought. As she thought, she looked around. She noticed a pile of pebbles in the garden. This gave her an idea. One by one, she picked up the pebbles and dropped them into the pitcher. Slowly, the water rose to the pitcher's brim, and now Crow was able to drink until her thirst was gone. So, short little piece. We would talk about the main character. Who's the main character, guys? Crow. And is Crow human?
No.
No, but what is it that's unusual about Crow in this story? What can Crow do that we don't usually think about crows doing?
Having brains.
She's thinking logically like a human, right? She's talking, she's figuring out all these things, and that's not usually a human trait. So there's a little lesson hidden in this story. Anybody want to take a stab at what the little lesson is? Because often folk tales and myths do have a little lesson. Crow had a problem. She was thirsty. Did she give up and quit?
No.
Did she wait on somebody else to solve her problem for her?
No.
She worked at it, and she thought about it, and she would try one thing, and if it didn't work, she'd think of another thing, and in the end, she got the water. So then there's then we can talk about figures of speech, and one of them is, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And they need to be familiar with figures of speech. I know my mother is in her 80s, and that generation used figures of speech a lot. And we don't hear it so much now in everyday language, and the children don't get exposed to it. Hungry as a bear. Now I can't think of any. I'm totally drawing a blank. But they used lots of figures of speech. So that would be something that we could talk about here. All right, we're going to let you read two short folk tales, and then we're going to look at how we can compare those folk tales on a sheet like this. And this is something that your children are actually using in class. You're going to get a copy, okay? You want some help?
Yeah. Oh, you're not here. Okay. Work as a group. All right.
that is, we need some more.
Oh, I'm not there.
Here, I have one. I have mine.
It means it. The right way. The right way.
All right, we've read the first one, which is the crow and the pitcher. So the next one is the grasshopper and the ant.
Miss Burke, can we use our homework passes?
Do you have homework for me, Ty?
Yes,
What is it?
lots of homework.
Of course you will use it, Ty.
You know George, I mean Charlie.
No.
You're around here? We're gonna brain here. Y'all can work in group and talk about that. This is the same kind of thing that we've been doing in class. From the chart different, comparing the two. Oh, where's the, okay. Comparing, like, we did, I have some. I have a few. And then might be using charts, something like this right here, and they'll put some things that are similar about the two stories, and things that just go with the grasshopper, and that just go with the other one. Y'all use that same reflection? You read those stories, things that are alike in those stories, and things that just go with the grasshopper and the ants, and then the things that just go with the other story. Things are alike and things are different. Well, hey there. Have you ever seen this chart before? So what you want to do is you want to read this story, and read this one and this one, okay? And then up in this part, you tell about some things that are the same in both stories, like maybe talking animals or something like that. Okay? Maybe the plot. Okay? Maybe they have similar kind of problem. And then over here, we do things, just things that go that are in the grasshopper and the ant, but not in the other story. And then on that side, we do things that are just in the crow and the pitcher, which we just read. But not in the grasshopper and the ant. Does that make sense? Bless you.
All right, guys, let's see what we have so far. All right, we have two texts, the crow and the pitcher, and the grasshopper. The first thing it asks us is, how are they alike? Okay, so who wants to lead off? Huh? Now, how are they alike? Tell me your name.
Joe,
How are they alike?
they both were about them.
Okay, so they're both. What about, let's say non-humans. How about that? Kids like things like that. Non-humans. All right, anything else?
Both of the stories took place in the summertime.
Okay, both took place in the summertime?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the second one definitely started in the summertime, it did. So we're looking at summer, and that's part of setting. Time and place is part of setting, and kids need to understand that because it has a lot of meaning to the story. Ty?
They both had lessons.
They both learned a lesson. Did you have something?
They two other animals can talk. They both can talk.
I think they can all talk, can't they? For the grasshopper, he did say something. He said, "Come, let's play," right? What did the ant say? Oh man, I got work to do. And we can figure that the crow is talking to himself, but still he's having a conversation. And I guarantee you that crows out here in the yard are not having conversations with anybody. So the animals can talk. Anything else that makes them alike?
No.
No? Okay. All right, that's good. That's a great place to go. Let's see if I had anything else. I just sort of jotted down some notes. Oh. I said that most of the characters are working hard to achieve a goal. Okay? The grasshopper was not, but a lot of those characters were working hard to achieve a goal. So that was something that was similar. Never miss an opportunity for another little lesson with children, right? And then the bottom half of your form will ask, how are these pieces different? What is it about them that makes them different? So, Ty, what did you say?
The grasshopper and the ant there is about insects. And
Okay, grasshopper and the ant is about insects. And they were the main characters, right? They were the main characters. All right?
the grasshopper wanted to play all the time, and he ended up with no food.
The grasshopper wanted to play all the time. Okay? So grasshopper played. And let's stop while we're here and talk about the crow and the pitcher a little bit, because we are comparing, right? So if the ant and the grasshopper had insects, what did the crow and the pitcher have? What is a crow?
A bird.
It's a bird. So we can put a bird here. And if the grasshopper played, all he wanted to do was play, what can we say about the crow?
He worked.
He worked. He worked. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I also said that, and I just sort of lost it. The crow is getting what he needs right now. Like he needs water now. And he figures out a way to get water now. And in the ant and the grasshopper, those little ants are planning ahead. They're planning for the future so that they don't starve, right? So he's concerned with what's going on in his life right now, and they're planning
For the future.
for the future.
Interesting.
I know. I'm smart like that, right? The grasshopper didn't plan for the future, so that brings us to another difference. Who was successful?
Crow.
The crow was successful. How about the grasshopper?
No, but the ant
No,
was.
he's probably gonna be a little frozen statue somewhere in grass, because he's not gonna have anything to eat. So one had success and one did not have success.
You could put the both have the same because the ants and the crows have achieved their goals.
Yeah, we could add that to, up here we could say, with, in ways that they are alike, that the ant and the, crow achieve their goal. Okay, anything else that we might want to add? Kids can come up with things sometimes, you know, we work really hard on lessons and we think we have it all covered, and we'll ask a question and we have all the answers, and then kids will come up with something great. Something we never thought of, something that's just totally out of the box, deep thinking, and that's when we know that things are going well. That's exactly what we want to do, and we keep telling them, we don't want you to memorize things. We want you to learn to think.
Yeah.
So that you're not dependent on us or anybody else. You can make do for yourself because you know how to think.
And at any time during the process, we may go back and ask the student to explain their thinking and find their evidence in the text and share it with the class. Where the grasshopper played or where the grasshopper ended up hungry and actually find that piece in the text. And these are some of the things that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks.
And things like, it leads into things like grammar lessons, because how do we know? Because it's in quotes. We know what he said because it's in quotes. Also comes into point of view. Who's telling the story? Is the crow telling the story, and how do you know that? Do we hear words like I? If we do, it's first person. In the ant and the grasshopper, who's telling the story? The ant and the grasshopper, right? They're having conversations. Okay, so then we can talk about point of view and things like that. There are lots of things that just come up that are great little lessons that maybe we did not even plan. But we certainly do go with it when it comes up, because it's the perfect time for kids to learn something without feeling like there's going to be tests on this, you know. It just comes naturally, so it's nice to let it come naturally. All right, hope this helped. This is something that they're doing. They seem to be enjoying it, and they like reading the myths. It took them a little while to really grab onto the fact that, because they would say, this is silly. Crows don't talk and stuff like that. So it took a little while for them to make that transition into, yeah, but you got to remember that these were written 3,000 years ago. So, and a whole different world back then, where they did it for entertainment.
And we use this as practice, and we'll use things like this on the assessment too. So it's not just, they're not just getting multiple choice questions all the time. They have to do constructive response, and they have to do pieces like this where they actually have to think and do things. These are things you can do at home. And these are things that you can do across the curriculum. You can do comparison and contrast with their social studies, even with math. But don't ask me how, because I'm not a math.
One thing we would really like you to do when your kids are reading at night, just sit with them for, I know everybody's really busy, but if you could sit with them for just a little while and have them read a page or two to you, and then make them stop and make them tell you not only what they read, but what it means. Go for that deeper meaning. Yeah, he said that he wasn't going to go to school because he didn't like his new friends or something like that. So go for the deeper meaning. Why is that? What is the book telling us about his experience in this new school, or his past experiences that would make him be unhappy? Go for deeper meanings and ask lots of questions about what they're reading.
Just have regular conversations about what they're reading. I mean, on the spur of the moment over dinner or whatever. And if you're not used to doing it, it's awkward at first, like anything is. But after a while, it gets kind of natural.
Well, and you'll find that you love fifth grade literature. Because I have friends, we trade books all summer long, and then they'll say, "You want to read?" And I'll go, "Nope, I'm not reading any adult literature until June, because now I just read fifth grade literature." But I love that. I mean, it's fun. A lot of the books are really good books. Good books to read.
Yeah.
All right, you did good. Give yourself a hand.
It's so good when we have drawings.
Yeah, you did so good that we're going to have some drawings for some free books.
And I want to say that we're not just comparing text. In our classroom, you might remember, we were doing Tall Tales and Legends. We watched a video about John Henry, and then we listened to and watched a performance of a song about John Henry by old Woody Guthrie. And they got to compare and contrast the things that were in that and talk about that. So we're taking it in a lot of directions.
All right, ready? You got your tickets? How many books do we have?
Run along?
A lot. We know we were running.
We might not run out.
All right, first number, 751-315.